Já faz tempo que eu pedi, mas o meu Papai Noel não vem. Com certeza já morreu, ou então felicidade é brinquedo que não tem. Eu pensei que todo mundo fosse filho de Papai Noel. Bem assim, felicidade. Eu pensei que fosse uma brincadeira de papel. Já faz tempo que eu pedi, mas o meu Papai Noel não vem. Com certeza já morreu, ou então felicidade é brinquedo que não tem. Ah, vê se você tem a felicidade pra você. بعيونه
Hello. We meant to do that. It gives it a great effect. It makes it more impactful. My name is Henry Watts. I'm the music minister here at St. Catherine's. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate seeing you all here. It means a lot to me and means a lot to the choir to see you all here, see so many wonderful, bright and smiling faces this Christmas season here to enjoy our music. We have put in lots of hours into preparing this for you, so it definitely warms my heart to see it finally here. Today's the day to be able to present this concert for you today. Before we get going into the rest of the concert, I do want to just give a couple thanks to a couple of different people. I would like to first thank Mark for setting up our sound and our video. I would like to say special thanks to Crystal Iskovitz for helping me with the programs, especially last minute. Whenever I'm a poor planner, I'm the worst, but she's the best. I would like to thank the St. Catherine of Sienna Empty Nesters for providing the refreshments for after the show. I'd also like to thank our guest musicians. Thank you, guest musicians who are not part of St. Catherine, but they are here tonight supporting and enriching our performances tonight, so thank you. And lastly, a big thanks to all of our choir members for all the hours of dedication they've put in for tonight. Thank you. So the theme for tonight, Carols and Chronicles, A Worldwide Christmas Journey. What that is I'm from Fort Bend. That is where I'm from. I've lived here my entire life. But one of the things I love about Fort Bend is that it is one of the most diverse counties in the entire country. It is so rich with so many cultures and languages and customs and traditions. This truly is a melting pot of our nation. I took that for granted growing up because I grew up here. This is all I've known. It wasn't until I was already into adulthood that it finally clicked. Not everywhere else is like this. And I just had no idea because, I go to school and I went to Kempner, and Kempner had 120 different languages spoken at that high school. And I just thought that was normal. Doesn't everyone come from all over the world, come to Sugarland in Missouri City? Don't they all do that? To me, that just seemed normal. And so I've always been, growing up and hearing about different people's traditions and customs, I've always loved that. I always just thought that just seems so special that I have what I know from my childhood and what my family did, but then to hear different stories in different places and hear those different customs, it always just resonated with me. And then also being a musician my entire life, music from all over the world that is just so rich and wonderful and diverse. So all the music tonight is from all over the world, including the prelude music, the postlude music, and our speakers are from all over the world, including me. I might be from here, but that's part of the world. So the first tale I have to tell you is from Fort Bend. Like I said, I've grown up here my entire life, and Christmas for me, first, before we even get to Christmas, just once we hit past Thanksgiving, one thing that my family has always loved to do, and maybe some of you have done this as well, is we would love to go and drive through River Oaks and just enjoy the Christmas lights in River Oaks. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should Google River Oaks Christmas lights. And then maybe it'd probably be better to go during a weekday, not a weekend, because it gets crazy. It gets packed with cars. But the lights on these huge houses are just never seen lights like it, and it's beautiful to behold. And it's always fun also to see which houses are the Hanukkah houses, because they even get into it too. They'll have Hanukkah lights in addition to the Christmas lights, and that was one of the things that my family would always do. We'd all bundle up, and I had 5 brothers and sisters, and so the 8 of us, including my parents, we'd all get into this big old van and be wrapped in our blankets and stuff and have little snacks, and we would just drive around and enjoy the Christmas lights. And to me, that was Christmas. And then whenever it came to Christmas Day and Christmas morning, no one was allowed to open any gifts until parents were awake. And so it would be like, why can't they wake up at 4 a.m. like us, And so instead, my siblings and I, we would attack our stockings. We each had a stocking above the fireplace, which was rarely ever turned on because, Fort Bend, it's hot. I think I've seen snow in my life maybe 4 or 5 times. I've only seen it on the ground once. Magical. I made like a little snowman like this tall. So we would always get into our stockings, and we would eat the candy in our stockings, and we loved that. And then whenever parents would wake up, we'd open presents. And then one thing that always sticks out to me is I'm gonna get emotional talking about this. It's just like our Christmas breakfast. That was just the best thing ever. Christmas dinner, I don't want that. I wanted Christmas breakfast. And it wasn't anything like grandiose or special, but it was special because it was our family all eating together. We'd have pancakes and scrambled eggs and toast and bacon and sausage, and that was it. But it was all of us, like all 8 of us sitting down, enjoying that special breakfast together, and I just loved that. I loved that so much. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, and then also, frequently in the afternoons, one of our Christmas traditions was if there was a good movie coming out, we'd go and see a movie on Christmas Day. And that is what our family would do. Like, we would even look forward to if there was 2 good blockbusters, we had to vote on it. Which one was it going to be? We're only going to see one on Christmas, Those poor people at the movie theater, we don't want to work them too hard. But we would always go see a movie, and that's what we would do. And speaking of movies, I don't know if any of you remember this one, but A Christmas Story, Little Ralph with the BB gun, it's not Christmas unless we watch that movie. And my mother was dead set on that. We were not gonna go to Christmas Day without sitting down as a family and watching that movie. Luckily, I think the movie is hilarious and it's fun, so I always loved it. But those were my Christmas traditions. And what I love about this is that some of you might have similar things, but that's my chronicle of Christmas, and you all have yours as well. And it's all about spending time as a family, really, and remembering the birth of Christ. That's what the holiday is celebrating Christ's birth. But ultimately, the memories that I have, it's about family and spending time with my family. And in true Texan fashion, I don't think I really ever wished anyone Merry Christmas. It was, all y'all have a great Christmas. So, all y'all have a great Christmas. Oh, I forgot to say the opening hymn and the closing carol, it's congregation as well. So there are lyrics. Follow along. You're singing.
Greetings from Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica. I was raised in Jamaica and brought up in the 70s. That was my time. I can stay here all night and talk about Christmas season. We don't say Christmas Day. It's the whole season that's what we celebrate. And I just boil it down to the top 10 things because I could do 30 things and be here for half an hour. I won't do that. I'll just do 10 things. And they're not in order. They're just the top 10 things that I see. Buying furniture. Around Christmas time, that's where everybody buys furniture. They buy everything. The house has to be prepared for Christmas Day. And so they will borrow, beg, not steal the furniture to get the place looking that way. Spring cleaning, believe it or not, spring cleaning in Jamaica is around Christmas. Everything is clean in the house. The garbage trucks are busy because stuff are just flinging out. Spring cleaning. House painting, inside and out. The house is painted. The painters are making money. House painting. Walking the plazas in droves. During the Christmas season, not Christmas Day, the plazas are flooded with people. The stores, as a matter of fact, the stores, they hire people to sell on the sidewalk and almost in the streets. So the stores fill out. And we used to have Woolworth in that time. Woolworth stores. I'm not even sure if there's Woolworth stores anymore. But Woolworth. We used to have those stores, and whatever is inside is on the sidewalk and almost in the streets. Grand Market. Now, Grand Market, every town in Jamaica has what we call a Grand Market. This is about 10 acres of bazaar. You go there and you can get anything. You can buy a goat or you can buy a toy. Anything is sold at the Grand Market. Now, the Grand Market on Christmas Eve is buzzing with people, hundreds of people, and it is all night long. And it is closed about 9 a.m. Christmas Day. Just imagine that. You have breakfast there, lunch, dinner, and just walking around. There's a goat beside you, there's a toy beside you. Everything is there for sale. Carol services. Carol services. When I was little, people used to come to your door, sing carols. And these carols are organized by school, churches, and businesses. And so they pay these people, some of them, to come around all day long, from the beginning of Christmas until the end. Family and friends reunion, and I put in there Christmas dinner, because this is, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but this is the one. As guys, as boys, as young men in Jamaica, they groom you from the age of 10 to cook. So at 10 you can watch, 11 you start seasoning food and peeling, but 12 years old, it's your turn. And so Christmas Day, you have to prepare a meal of the 10-course meal. 10 course. Lots of stuff. And so when my turn came, I don't remember what I cooked, but I did have to work on it all Christmas season. And on that day, they say, Ian, your turn. You have to do X course of the meal. And that was fun. John Canoe and Masquerade. Now, so with that, it's like Halloween and Christmas. From the beginning of the Christmas season, these guys come around in masks and they dance and they have bizarre costumes. Can you imagine a 5-year-old and you look and people in masks that look like Halloween and your parents used to say, behave yourself because they'll take you away. My goodness, it used to be cowering beside your parents. These people get paid. So they come around and they come to your door and they're like, with these masks on and stuff, and you're like, oh, let me pay him so he can go. Christmas work. So around Christmas time, everybody, gangs of workers are on the street. They get paid by the local government to clean the streets. Everything is whitewashed. Even the stones on the sidewalk is whitewashed. The trees from the almost close to the base of the tree is whitewashed. When you go, everything looks like snow. No, it's just the whitewash. Made of, it's kind of like a limestone. And so they crush it and whitewash. And then I found out later in school that that limestone whitewash actually prevents decay. I found that out. Christmas bonus. Everybody gets a bonus. Doesn't matter who you are, you get a Christmas bonus. The postal worker and the garbage workers, they put an envelope the first day of Christmas. The last day of Christmas, they come back and you give them something in there. Whatever it is. I mean, sometimes the work might not be the best, but it's the tradition. We give them something. So that is the top 10 things. I won't say any more because there's so many other things. Thank you for listening. God bless.
Good evening. My name is Aggie. I am Ian's wife. And I was born in Puerto Rico, and my parents are from Dominican Republic. And I remember lots of fond memories for Christmas season. Christmas in Puerto Rico, just like in many places, starts with Jesus. And so on the 24th of December, that's when we really celebrate. We have parties, and that party includes traditional foods such as pasteles, which is like a tamale, except that it's made of plantains and cassava, and it's filled with different meats on it, very nicely seasoned, wrapped up in a plantain leaf, and then boiled. We also have lechon asado, which is a roast pork or pig. It's actually a whole pig, and so that gets roasted. And then we also have coquito. Coquito is like eggnog, except that it's made of coconut milk and nice rum. Now, as we celebrate the 24th of December, we have dancing, and we have a really good time with family and friends. Then, right after the festivities, we actually attend Mass. We attend the midnight Mass, and that's very, very common in a lot of Latin countries, and also in many other countries in the world that we attend Mass. And so after Mass, people go home, but sometime after midnight, you may get carolers at your door. And so the carolers will come and they will sing. And in our country, what they do is when they come singing, it's for you to go along with them. And so you go from one house to another to another. Everyone gets in and everyone carols, and then you get to the host house. And at the host house, you continue the festivities, more food, more fun, and more dancing. And so on Christmas morning, everyone, of course, everyone is tired from all of the dancing and all of the partying, and people wake up late, except for the kids, they'll wake up early. And of course, we open up gifts, and we also visit friends and family on Christmas Day. We call up people that we have not spoken to for a long time and wish them very well for Christmas. And then our Christmas season ends with Epiphany. It ends with Three Kings Day. Again, we love Jesus. We begin Christmas with Jesus, and we end the Christmas season with Jesus. It's all about family, and it's all about friends, and it's all about love, and it's all about Jesus. Thank you.
I cannot beat the two smallings. They did a super job. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Sisters and brothers in Christ, this opportunity is truly a Christmas gift from you a gift for ruminating on my childhood memories and Christmas. But I must say, my childhood was 60 years ago, not 65 years ago. First, a word about the churches of South India and North India to give you some background information. In 1947, a month after India's independence from Great Britain, the Church of South India became the first organic union of Protestant churches in the world. 3 years later, the Church of North India was formed. Today, the CSI has 24 dioceses, and the CNI has 26 dioceses, for a total membership of 5 million members. 5 million. And one of the CSI dioceses is in Jaffna, in a city called Jaffna, in Sri Lanka, formerly Ceylon. What are the differences between the CSI, CNI, and the Episcopal Church? Liturgically, none. Liturgically, no differences at all. So when I go to the CSI service, when I come to the Episcopal Church, I see no difference. Same service. All are part of the Anglican Communion, and hence the Lambeth Conference. All follow the same church calendar. Now a few words about my childhood home church. I grew up in a small farming village in South India. If you care to know, we came from a state called Kerala on the Arabian side of at the very bottom of the country, in the south. About 200 years ago, a small church built my paternal grandfather and his brothers. Built a small church and joined the Anglican Church. Most of its members then and even now belong to the same extended family, one family, mostly. In the late 1950s, the foundation stone for a larger church was laid by the late Reverend C.K. Jacob, the first native bishop of the CSI diocese, an outstanding theologian and preacher. Bishop Jacob was the first president of the World Council of Churches that met in New Delhi. In the years that followed, our church added a small choir, an organ, and we have our own Henry Watts, a teacher also. I am honored to say that the present bishop of my original home diocese is my own cousin. Actually, we have two bishops of the same family now. Finally, about my childhood Christmas celebrations. Advent was marked by carolers carrying flashlights, lanterns, and small musical instruments, and singing carols in front of the houses of parish families. Families often would in turn treat the carolers to snacks, including Christmas cakes. With the coming of electricity in the area came Christmas lights, decorations at the church and various houses. Although very primitive, there were fireworks here and there. Sparklers were very popular even in those days. On Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we had Eucharistic services. The Christmas Eve service filled with lessons and carols. The choir, the organ, played a major role in the beauty of those services. As we celebrate this Christmas season with our own memories and traditions, as we just heard, let us also remember the needy, the hungry, the sick, the elderly, the handicapped, and especially the homeless. My wife and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May our Lord and Savior continue to bless St. Catherine's. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Christmas in Barbados. I'm going behind Ian for Christmas in Jamaica. And a lot of the, the things he discussed about the whitening with the limestone, we did it with sand. And that was especially done in the countryside. For those of us that lived in the city, we didn't really have a white Christmas because it wasn't really cold there. We were closer to the equator, so we had everything else. There was a lot of, for me, some of the music I heard initially was I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. And you would think that we are 85, 90 degrees, we're still dreaming of a white Christmas. And then we also listened to the music of our music, the Rocksteady Christmas Party, Drink a Rum and a Punch of Cream, and I remember the Merry Men singing Christmas Feeling. That's a more calmer Bajan song. I'm told I had to cut it for some, so. Locally throughout the neighborhoods, though, in terms of the music, there was this band called a Tuk Band, and it is a Bajan musical ensemble playing tuk or rakatuk music, consisting of a double-headed bass drum, triangle flute, snare drum, and a penny whistle. And they were accompanied by many characters, and the person I remembered mostly was Mother Sally. Her character was well-rounded, and Father said I could say she had an exaggerated behind. On Christmas Eve, you know, we as youngsters, we would go about, and in the neighborhood, we visit the hospitals, elder care prisons, and we sang the songs of the season and shared Christmas with them. Of course, such a beautiful island as this, the Parliament building was lit up, the streets were decorated with trees and lights streaming everywhere. And then there were the roundabouts that depicted scenes and stories. I always get lost on the roundabouts, so I guess I would see the same story over and over again. And I remember hearing the chimes of the church bells, you know, when it announced the 12 chimes, and I knew then it was Christmas. And that was true for mostly all of the Anglican churches throughout the island. We attended, myself and my 4 sisters, we attended the first service at 5 a.m. and was thrilled with excitement as you watch the sun come in through the the glass windows, the stained glass windows. That is a beautiful sight. And also we had an organ, and when the organ started, and I guess some of us maybe had too much Christmas before we got there. With the choirs, it was a beautiful sound to hear. If you've ever heard Christmas Awake, Salute the Happy Morning, I always remember that as well. One of the things, though, I remember sleeping through the sermon. We were up all night. We were up all night getting ready for Christmas, doing all those things that Ian said that I don't have to say. So we fell asleep during the sermon, but I could tell you that when the congregation stood up, you know how that is, right? We got up. We were woken for that, to say the Nicene Creed. And then afterwards, we went to Queen's Park in Bridgetown, and there the police band performed the annual Christmas concert. Of course, we were all decked out in our best, and we had our own fashion parade with our imaginary runway. And there were critics, of course. Look who dressed this way, look who dressed that way. Imagine what she wearing, all sorts of things like that. It was so much fun, and it's gotten bigger over time, and it was really and still continues to be a great experience. And then there was the food. Just imagine the smell of preparing to bake our famous great cake. We soaked the fruit in rum for a year. From Christmas to Christmas, that fruit is smoking in rum and other liquors. And when you open it, my. And then there was the cooking. Talked about the baking and the roasting of the roasting. And don't forget the rum. Barbados, we drink rum in Barbados. So that was a part of it too. We didn't talk about, we knew Santa as Father Christmas. And as you know, we don't have chimneys in Barbados. So Father Christmas came during the night, bought the gifts, and left before we woke up. I don't remember putting any cookies or anything for Father Christmas. He was on his own, so that was it. So, anyway. So those gifts were open after we had our feast, and then later we would rest, and then we would eat some more. The next day, Boxing Day, was a bank holiday, and in true Barbados tradition, the merriment continued. There were picnics, excursions around the island, boat trips, and we visited other other family members to eat their food and drink their goodies and take some home too. So it's really a good time. You know, you listen to the music. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. You listen to the reggae and the soca music. All of that is combined. So for me, I'm still dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one I used to know in my island, Barbados, gem of the Caribbean Sea. I want to say that this was put together by myself, by Mrs. Cave, Phyllis Cave, and I, Kathy Dees. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. I guess it's time for my sermon, right? Keep it short. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm capable of that. My name is Father Andrew Ellison. I'm the rector here at St. Catherine's. And before I give my little vignette on my experiences of Christmas, I want to make a couple remarks. First off, I want to thank you all for being here. I know it means a lot to Henry and the choir, but it also means a lot to us here at St. Catherine's to see you all here, and we're so excited that you joined us for this evening. And one person that Henry left off that we need to recognize is Henry himself for putting this together, and this is amazing. Thank you so much, Henry. And thank you, choir, and those guest musicians. Y'all are sounding awesome. I'm loving it. I'm feeling the Christmas spirit, and I'm ready for Christmas. So I am from a faraway land called Arlington, Texas. And as Henry said, yes, it is part of the world, although there are places in the Metroplex that don't seem like it's part of this world. Mansfield, I won't say any names. But we grew up in Arlington, and we didn't have very many white Christmases. I think we had more than here, though. I think maybe about 4 or 5 white Christmases. Mainly we had ice Christmases. And if you've ever driven on the ice, I'd rather the 80, 90 degrees than that. But we grew up in Arlington, and Christmas was a big deal for our family. But it didn't start until Advent. So we recognized Advent. We didn't decorate until the 3rd or 4th Sunday of Advent, oftentimes the 4th Sunday. So while all my friends' houses were decorated, here we were, the Advent police Ellisons. And then we put everything up on usually the 3rd Sunday of Advent. My mom would go into frantic mode, start throwing the tree up, getting everything ready, and completely turning our house into this Christmas wonderland. And my dad would get out on the roof and do his best Clark Griswold and try to decorate that house. But one of the things I really remember about the lead up to Christmas is driving and looking at the Christmas lights. There's this awesome neighborhood in Arlington called Interlochen, and it was along these canals. And everybody went all out, and all the houses reflected on the water, and it was amazing. And we'd always listen to Christmas music, mainly Mannheim Steamroller, which is, I saw that they're in Sugar Land. I wish I could have saw them, but they're music my dad loved, so I loved it. But one song that I still remember some of the songs, but one song that, and one night that really just, I still remember to this day, is listening to Carol of the Bells, driving around Interlochen. And to me, that was Christmas. I was ready, hearing that ding dong, dong. Oh. Sing it, Daddy. And so we drive through Interlochen and look at the lights, drive through Fort Worth neighborhoods, and do as many exploring as we can. Christmas Eve was also a big deal. We ate lots of food, and I know looking at me, you're thinking, wow, shocker. But we did. We ate a lot of food. My mom would always make our Christmas treats, the little cup, the little peanut butter chocolate Reese's things she'd make homemade, little puppy chow, some Christmas pudding. We'd make our little Chex Mix, and it was amazing. And I would just sit in the kitchen, as a good young boy would do, and just scarf it all down. Every night on Christmas Eve before we went to church, we'd always eat lasagna. I have no idea where that came from. We're not Italian. What it was my mom just, it's like, this is easy, let's throw it in the oven. And this is something I continue doing to this day because it is Christmas to me. It's not Christmas Eve without lasagna. And so then we'd go to church, and church was always big in my family. My dad sang in the choir, and leading up to Christmas, I remember going to see the carols and lessons and carols service that my dad would always participate in with the 3 other Arlington churches. And he would sing in the choir at St. Mark's, and I remember sitting with the choir some Christmases, or with my mom, and just soaking it all in. And yes, I would play with the little flames as they gave us little candles and try to see how long I could keep my finger in there. Hey, kids, don't listen to me. Don't do what I do. Christmas morning, we woke up, and again, it was eating. There was that Christmas breakfast. That was the big thing for us, Christmas breakfast. And my mom would make this casserole that, again, we still make to this day. And my wife got the recipe, so we're owning my traditions here and with my family. And she'd also make this coffee cake with about 6 or 7 sticks of butter. But we couldn't stop eating it. It was so good. And there was a lot of eating. But in all that, there was love. There's love for one another. There was love around the table. And even my brothers and sisters, we'd stop fighting for maybe 30 or 45 minutes while we sat around the table. But these are the traditions that stuck with me. And when we moved to Cleburne, a little bit south of Fort Worth, I really began appreciating the midnight mass and really getting into church. And in fact, since I was one of the few weird youth people who liked coming to church at midnight mass, I was always the acolyte for midnight mass. There's lots of movies. Christmas Vacation was watched over and over and over again. And yes, it's still watched over and over and over again. And a lot of things we did as a kid, it's great because now I'm seeing us doing it again, and I get to relive this memory, relive this childhood, and give that to my kids. But it's interesting. Yes, we're all from these different places, but there's the overarching element to all of our stories regarding family, food, sitting around the table, singing the songs, whatever songs we loved and whatever songs we enjoyed. And to all of us, that is what made Christmas Christmas. And that's what makes Christmas for me. The food, the songs, but most importantly, the people whom I celebrate this holiday with. And that is my Christmas tradition. Those are some of my memories of Christmas. And before we turn it over, I do want to invite you all to join us for Christmas and make Christmas memories. If you're looking for a place to worship, we do have our Christmas Eve services at 5 and at 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and our Christmas Day service at 10:30. We love to welcome you here amongst our family at St. Catherine's. We'd love to welcome your family and worship our incarnate Lord together as we get ready to sing Silent Night I want to leave you with this hope that your Christmas is full of memories that will last you forever. Memories your kids will remember. Memories your grandkids remember. Memories you will remember. That you will continue to tell those stories for years on end and never let those go. God bless you all, and Merry Christmas.
Over here, over here. Yeah. I think we had a singer in there.